Hi, my name is Kritika,
My name's Noah.
And my name's Tyler Dean.
and we are in this podcast group together. And the purpose of this project is basically to explain and describe the meaning of the derivative and the other parts that correlate to it. So we're assuming that the people that are listening to this podcast know nothing about calculus and have never even heard of what a derivative is.
So before we talk about the actual definition of derivative, we have to know what a secant line is. A secant line is a line that joins 2 points in any given curve. We also have to know how the slope of the secant line leads to the average rate of change. Another thing we have to know before knowing the definition of the derivative is that the tangent line is a line that connects to only 1 point on a given curve, and how the slope of the tangent line leads to the instantaneous rate of change.
So we were thinking about applying this concept of derivatives to a stock market and how the stock market is constantly fluctuating depending on if it's going up or down. Or we were thinking about a more fun concept of applying it to like a college party where like they meet a student and they're like getting drunk, and we basically apply derivatives to the rate of how they are getting drunk.
All right, so overall for the podcast, of course we have our themes, of course we have our definitions, we have our overview that we submitted earlier last week. So for the podcast, we were thinking about adding little ad-libs, maybe sound effects, adding songs and jokes, just little things here and there to keep the podcast going and fresh. Of course, we want to stay around sticking to our theme. So we thought about these themes as more relatable to youth, probably, because who doesn't like Dr. Seuss or like college parties and stuff? Like, I think that's pretty relatable to an audience. I don't know what you'd think about it, but it pretty much makes sense.
We just want to get approval on like if we decide to do a college party theme to like be for it to be okay for us to talk about like alcohol consumption. So we just need your feedback on that.
Yeah, that's our only worry, because it's just straight up alcohol consumption. Well, of course, state like, oh, they're of age and stuff, but other than that, that's our only worry. Then overall, the 10 minutes should be pretty well prepared for. Of course, we're going to have to explain every little part of it. We are thinking about adding examples for each part, and then just having little storytelling, so that way like there's maybe a story going throughout the podcast as we're explaining everything, possibly like referring to the alcohol party one, like as we're going, the representative or the guy that is getting drunk is getting progressively more drunk through the podcast or something. Like just to keep up with the derivatives. And we've already thought about other things for that. Overall, I think we're pretty set for the podcast, and that we'll have everything we need when it comes to recording time and writing a script.